Here we go. Oh. Yeah. Then the Jeremy's now. This is it. That's it. Coop. Yes, sir.
What's good, YouTube? Jay Jones in the building, and today I want to give you my initial thoughts after hooping in the KYRIE 6. First, I kind of want to go over some minor details on the shoe, not anything too crazy, but just kind of highlight some of the features on the shoe. Tell you guys if I think it is worth purchasing in comparison to the KYRIE 5, and then just kind of give my overall thoughts on the design, the price point, the release date, all that good info that you guys can have. So yeah, let's get into it. So right away, I think it's worth mentioning that the KYRIE 6 has a Nike Air Zoom turbo unit in the forefoot. If I'm thinking about the lack of zoom from the KYRIE 1, then yeah, that's a very noticeable change from then and now. When you think about the KYRIE 1, the Zoom Air unit was really small in comparison to the KYRIE 6, which has increased by 240%. It's a subtle feature though. I think you can appreciate it if you're a guard, because you know you're not just looking to have something under your forefoot that's going to be that dominant, but you can appreciate it being there at the same time. Moving on, you have the strap midfoot, and from a performance standpoint, it is there, but I think having the strap was more of Nike trying to figure out a way to have the KYRIE line not only looking good on the court, but off the court as well. So, you know, adding the strap, I know you guys have already seen the images. They're kind of comparing this shoe to the Nike Yeezy. And you know, to me, that's not a huge deal. I ain't got no Yeezy, so I mean, it's like, okay, but for those who kind of want Yeezys, I can see how this would be a nice little touch, just because if you don't have Yeezys and you can use kind of like the Nike ID feature, you almost have the opportunity to kind of hoop in a Yeezy at the same time. And that may be a little different for you. The leather, I feel like, is an upgrade. They decided to add padding around the tongue as well. And again, I think this was more so for them to kind of put together a look that's going to not only feel nice, but look nice off the court as well as when you're playing on the court. I know you guys are already familiar with the multi-directional traction design that KYRIE has been going with for years now. I also feel like that was a good move on the 6 as well, because it's one of those things, like I always say, man, if it's not broke, then you really don't have to worry about fixing it. So one of the main questions is if I think you should purchase this shoe over the KYRIE 5. Now, I'm not gonna say that I do believe that you should cop the KYRIE 5 over the KYRIE 6, but I will say that if you do plan to cop the KYRIE 5, you will get a shoe that's very similar for probably $25 to maybe $30 cheaper. However, if you're big on the KYRIE line, I don't think copping the KYRIE 6 is a bad look either. You know what to expect in terms of performance. I do think the KYRIE 6 is a little more rockable off the court than the KYRIE 5, and I can see there being some really nice colorways in the KYRIE 6, just like it was in the KYRIE 5. You know, taking it back a little bit, Nike and KYRIE, they just kind of outdid themselves with the SpongeBob line. Like, that was just kind of crazy. But I think they're also trying to have that same type of feel, maybe not with something like SpongeBob, but with like the colorways that are releasing, maybe giving the fans an opportunity to design a colorway that's going to be really similar to the Yeezy, like I mentioned before. It's another plus that I feel like the KYRIE 5 kind of lacked. So the way I'm looking at it, if you're thinking just straight performance, if you just need a hoop shoe, you're a small guard, you like traction, but you don't want to pay the extra 25, 20, 30 bucks, then you can just go with the KYRIE 5 and you will be straight. But on the other hand, if you're big on the KYRIE line, let's say you're a consistent KYRIE copper, like it's a consistent purchase for you, then you know what you're gonna get in terms of performance, because it's really similar to the KYRIE 5, but I think the design and the materials and them kind of adding the extra, you know, the padding to the tongue to kind of give it a better look off the court is where you're going to kind of have to decide if it's worth spending the $130 or not. This colorway in particular releases November 22nd, and even with this colorway being as simple, or as you guys will say, just the whole black and white classic match the jacket type colorway, I'm really impressed with the logo placement, the details on the shoe. I think they did a good job with just how they created this year's model. But that's pretty much it for me right now. I'm going to continue to hoop in, and then maybe, you know what I'm saying, if a lot changes, then I can come back and let you guys know, okay, this changed and this is how I'm feeling now. But for the most part, you know what I'm thinking about the KYRIE 6 is really similar to the KYRIE 5, man. The KYRIE line in general has just become a really consistent line. I like what they've done with the design. My first pair of Yeezys, man. It's my first pair of Yeezys, and we're gonna take it for that. So thank you guys for watching, and until the next one, I'm out.
Right dribble pull up, and a three, then a three, then a left, then left. Okay. You can start right over there. In the pros, they do it consecutively. They don't miss a shot.
I believe it. Easy money.
Okay. There you go.
I didn't know you had the floater in there. Nice. That's his game. That's his bag. He bought that already. I didn't have to show that to y'all. That's my bag. That's your bag. Oh, what? Hold on. I've been going way too long. I've been going a little bit too long. I ain't seen this, Jay. Ugh. With a confidence. My fault, I messed that up. Oops. I'm behind.